She paid for a stranger's coffee, then saw him fire her boss the next morning.
It means a lot.
At 7:12 on a rainy Chicago morning, Mara Collins decided that adulthood was mostly just choosing which disaster deserved caffeine first. Her hair was still damp from the shower she had taken in under 4 minutes. Her blouse had a faint wrinkle near the collar. Under her eyes were the shadows of a woman who had spent half the night helping her mother to the bathroom, counting pills, and pretending not to hear the fear in Tessa Collins's voice when her left hand shook again. Mara checked her bank app while standing in line at the cafe. 1842 technically, that was enough for coffee. Technically, it was not enough for life, but she had a 9 a.m. meeting with Graham Ellis, and facing Graham without caffeine was less a choice than a workplace safety violation. The cafe was packed with people in raincoats, earbuds, and expressions of private emergency. Everyone was late. Everyone was important. Everyone believed the person in front of them was the reason civilization was failing. Then the man at the counter tried to order. He was tall, maybe mid-30s, wearing a dark coat that was too plain to be expensive and too well cut to be cheap. His hair was damp from the rain, and he looked at the menu board with the grave concentration of a man reading a merger agreement. The barista waited. The man cleared his throat. Is medium equivalent to operationally standard? The barista blinked. It's medium. Yes, but relative to what? The woman behind her whispers. Oh my God, Mara closed her eyes. Not today. The man continued, apparently unaware that the entire line had begun aging behind him. I'll have a coffee. Normal temperature, minimal complexity. The barista stared at him. Mara leaned slightly forward. He means drip coffee. The man turned, grateful. You do now. Thank you, you're welcome. Try not to negotiate with the muffins. A tiny smile appeared at the corner of his mouth. The barista rang him up. $4.12. The man handed over a card, declined. He frowned, more confused than embarrassed, and tried another card, declined again. A man behind Mara sighed so aggressively it deserved its own weather alert. The stranger checked his phone, then his wallet, then the card again, as if betrayal by plastic required a full investigation. This card usually works in Zurich, he said. That did it. The barista's patience died visibly. The line shifted. Someone muttered about rich weirdos. Someone else said people should know their balance before ordering. Mara saw the stranger's shoulders tighten, not with arrogance, with the sudden, humiliating awareness of being in everyone's way. She knew that feeling too well. She remembered her mother years ago dropping a packet of food assistance coupons at a grocery store while the man behind them groaned and the cashier pretended not to judge. Mara had been 17 then, old enough to understand shame and young enough to hate every person who watched without helping. So she stepped forward. Put is with mine, the stranger turned. You don't have to do that. I know. That's what makes it generous instead of a billing error. Mara, the barista said, recognizing her from too many exhausted mornings. You sure? No. Yep. She paid for both coffees and felt her bank balance become a smaller, sadder number. The stranger accepted the cup with both hands like it came with legal consequences. I'll pay you back, he said. Unless you're secretly a prince, I think I'll survive the $4. I'm definitely not a prince. That's exactly what a prince with bad credit would say. He laughed, startled, as if laughter had not been on his schedule. They stepped aside to the pickup counter. Mara grabbed napkins, checked the time and felt her stomach drop. She was now officially late enough for Graham to enjoy it. The stranger looked at her badge clipped crookedly to her bag. Brightline Media? Unfortunately. You work there. I am employed there. Work implies a level of mutual respect I'm not ready to confirm. His expression sharpened slightly, though Mara was too tired to notice. What do you do? Officially, coordination assistant. Unofficially, human apology machine. I organize campaigns, fix other people's mistakes, and get blamed when the printer develops emotional boundaries. He smiled again. Sounds demanding. It's fine. I'm only one passive-aggressive email away from spiritual enlightenment. And your boss? Mara laughed once into her coffee. My boss thinks leadership means stealing your umbrella and then telling you rain builds character. The man studied her over the rim of his cup. I'm observing a place that may need fixing, he said. Mara paused. Then she nodded slowly. That is either very mysterious or the opening line of a man about to sell me a productivity app. Neither. Worse. Consultant? His face almost gave him away. Something like that. Mara checked the time again. Well, good luck fixing whatever broken thing adopted you. I have to go be professionally belittled. She hurried out into the rain. Evan Pierce watched her leave. He did not follow immediately. He looked down at the coffee she had paid for, then toward the glass towers across the street where Brightline Media occupied floors 14 through 18. Pierce Holdings had acquired the company 6 weeks earlier. Since then, anonymous complaints had piled up faster than quarterly reports. Bullying, retaliation, stolen work. HR silence. Evan had decided to observe quietly before making changes. He had not expected his first useful report to cost a stranger $4. Mara reached Brightline 9 minutes late. Graham Ellis was waiting near the conference room, like a man who had been personally betrayed by traffic, weather, and the concept of caregiving. "Mara," he said loud enough for the team to hear, "glad you could join us." She kept walking. "Good morning. That depends on whether you finished the deck. I sent it at 1:43 a.m. Yes, after I requested it at 6 p.m. Right. I should bent time." A few people looked down to hide smiles. Graham did not. His voice turned smooth and dangerous. "Some of us don't have the luxury of treating deadlines as emotional suggestions." Mara felt heat rise in her face. "My mother had a medical issue last night, and I'm sympathetic," Graham said with no sympathy anywhere near him. "But people with complicated personal circumstances need to be especially careful about reliability." The room went still. Owen, the graphic designer beside the screen, looked at Mara, then away. He had helped her finish the visuals last night. He knew Graham had changed direction 3 times and then claimed the idea as his own. Mara swallowed. She needed this job. More specifically, she needed the insurance attached to this job. Her mother's rehab did not care about dignity, so she sat. The meeting began. Graham presented the campaign strategy Mara had built, using her phrases, her structure, even the line she had written at 1:18 a.m. While reheating soup for her mother, the team praised him. Mara took notes. By the time the meeting ended, her jaw hurt from not speaking. Graham called her back after everyone else left. He told her the revised deck needed to be redone before lunch. He told her her tone had been defensive. He told her Brightline valued team players, and team players did not make leadership manage around their personal lives. Mara nodded because nodding was cheaper than unemployment. When she stepped out of the room, she saw the coffee stranger standing near reception with a visitor badge. He looked different in the fluorescent office light. Still damp from rain, still holding the coffee cup, still too composed for someone whose Zurich card had failed before 8 a.m. Mara forced a smile. "Please tell me you're not here to fix the printer. It bites." He looked past her toward the conference room, where Graham was laughing loudly on a video call with senior leadership. Then he looked back at her.